What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Square Post podcast. As always, I'm Daniel and that's Sam. And this has been a really interesting week in professional wrestling. We have two pay per views and then a bunch of the normal shows that we will get to. But first, let's talk about pay per views. Do you want to start with Sacrifice or do you want to start with Revolution?
We can start with Sacrifice because I know you're
Yes.
our Impact expert
I'm an Impact
when it comes to
stan.
current
Yes.
Impact.
And former. I'm an Impact. We all know I'm an Impact stan. Like that, I've never
Yeah.
really hit that well, at least. But yeah, okay. So let's talk about Sacrifice. I feel like Sacrifice was one of those shows that was better than the sum of its parts. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
really good matches. Don't get me wrong, but like all together, it was probably a really, really strong pay per view. And that starts with Alex Shelley and Jay White. Now, I don't think I need to convince anybody how good Alex Shelley or Jay White is, but God, we wait to watch this match. It was it was match of the night. It was probably one of the best 20 or so minute matches that I've seen recently. And I don't know if I can overstate that this match was really good.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, those two guys, like they're not only like one of the most influential tag teams of the current generation, but also they have great singles careers. Like those two guys can friggin' go. And that match against Jay White really proved that Alex Shelley, who's in his mid to late 30s, can still go in there and have a friggin' banger of an instant classic.
Alex Shelley is timeless. And the way I've always described this is Motor City Machine Guns are your favorite tag team for a tag team. And there was a point where Alex Shelley was your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. That is the perfect way to describe Alex Shelley. But also for me, because I've been watching a while, it was weird to hear Alex Shelley being described as a mentor because I remember when he used to go butt heads with the mentors. I remember when he was like yelling, well, not yelling, but when he was butting heads with Samoa Joe about why should we fight these battles for you? And then Joe was like, because if we don't, this company will die. So get on board.
Yeah.
There was no one better to rile up Samoa Joe than Alex Shelley, and there was no one better to rile up Alex Shelley than Samoa Joe. Those two were like, they weren't polar opposites, but they were both really strong-willed. And
they were what AJ was to Kurt.
Yes, because Alex Shelley is annoying. Samoa Joe doesn't take no shit. That was the perfect dynamic. And that was the dynamic team. Well, we can talk about this in a different show, but that was the dynamic TNA needed in 2009. Because you had because like we all know, like I don't think this is first time. TNA always had like a bunch of old guys, and then they had some young guys.
And and in the middle were the ex-WWE guys.
Although the ex-WWE guys also count as old guys because I don't
think
anyone will disagree with me saying Road Dogg and Sting aren't like spy 30-year-olds.
Kevin Nash was like 50.
Yes, and just to be clear, I love Sting and Kevin Nash, and we'll talk about Sting later. We'll talk about Sting later. But my point being is that Alex Shelley has grown so much while a lot of us were watching. And that's why I think, well, okay, we're getting off topic, but that's why I think guys like Bomb Breaker, like Carmelo Hayes, like Hook, like Starks, like Darby Allin, like Sammy Guevara are so we get invested in them because we've seen them grow up. Like one day, Sammy Guevara is going to be that veteran who comes in and gives a really good 20-minute match. If his body can hold up, we will talk about that later, and why we do not need to see Spanish flies off two tables, please, Sammy Guevara. I would like to see you walk when you're 40.
Me too. But as a fellow Sam, you better take care of your body, bro.
Yes, but back to Alex Shelley and Jay White. For those who haven't seen the match, I'm going to spoil it. Sorry. I thought Alex Shelley had it in that Border City stretch.
Yeah.
When Jay White kicked, I thought Alex Shelley was about to win. And the thing that got me is that because the announcers mentioned it a lot, like when Jay White came to the US for his excursion from New Japan, Alex Shelley took him in, and he was this mentor, which again is really weird for me to think about because like I still remember Alex Shelley as like we already discussed that. But yeah, Jay White is probably, I don't want to say top 10. He's definitely top 20 of the best wrestlers in the world today, and he will eventually get in that top 10 spot. But
He'll be up there with his buddies Bryan Danielson, and Joe will get up there really quick too, and sure as Punk will too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jay White's staying in New Japan, but like in terms of those, and okay, we can talk about Jay White now, and then we can move on to the rest of the card.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a really long episode. Jay White, I think the reason he's not in Japan because like we saw Tama Tonga and Tonga Lord, they are back in Japan. They're doing the New Japan Cup. I think they really want him to be the face of New Japan Strong, because like during the pandemic, they had to like push New Japan Strong way ahead of their I would assume their original timeline.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of really young guys, some older guys, but no one really would say, okay, I need to watch New Japan Strong and I need to watch him. Besides Eddie Kingston, but Kingston came in later. So I'm talking about guys like
so did TMDK.
Yeah, I'm talking guys like TJP and Fred Rosser. And I love Fred Rosser. I love Fred Rosser back when he was Darren Young. But like no one you would really pop out of the page and say, yes, I need to watch this show because he's on it. But with JY, you have a guy that everyone knows is a good wrestler. So people are like, and he has his open challenge. Like Swerve answered his open challenge. Mike Bailey's going to wrestle him soon.
Which that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be awesome.
And we talked about that on the show last week when it was just announced.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're like trying to get more eyes on him, and they're using Jay White, a guy they know people like, which is a really good strategy. Don't get me wrong. But I think that's the reason we haven't seen him back in New Japan and why he's taking this extended leave in the States. Is they want him to be face, and if he has to go to AEW, Impact, or wherever, they're fine with that.
He could go to Ring of Honor.
Yes, they're fine with that because they're like, sure, you go to those places. People that don't know you will learn about you, and that will benefit us because like we're the ones we're the ones people will search out to watch. It's not like back in like. Again, you know I'm the Impact number. It's not like back in the early 2000s when New Japan was like, hey, Impact, you want these guys? And Impact was like, sure, we'll just destroy them horribly. I still don't, no one, I don't
They've learned from that over the past 20 years.
Yes. I don't think anyone's forgiven Impact for what they did to Okada. I have. Yeah. And I'm the biggest Impact stan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Scott you're also the biggest Okada stan.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore had to personally apologize for that. When he became into power, he was just like, yeah, that was a huge mistake. Sorry about that. But anyways, back to the card. We had the influence beat the inspiration. There's not much to say. I love all those.
Yeah.
They had to really drag out the story because of COVID reasons.
Yeah.
That we won't talk about.
And to see Tenille finally get a title, it is so cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
She didn't get, she almost had one in Ring of Honor. She barely even got close to the NXT women's title. Even on Raw, she didn't get one single chance because either 1 week she was Emelina or the other she was doing her thing.
I think Tenille is going to be someone that her career will be looked back on more fondly 10, 20 years from now than it is in this moment.
Yeah, 100%. And just like everyone else right now is loving Summer Rae.
Yes.
In that same vein.
It would be,
and by the way, shout out to WWE legend Summer Rae. She fucking rules.
Yeah, there would be a lot of like wrestlers that look back on more fondly than they are right now, just because time. And there are also a lot of guys that will be looked on less fondly as time goes on. Because they can get their own way, and we will not be discussing any of them in this stream, but you can guess.
You guys know if you looked wrestling Twitter over the past few months or years,
no one should look at wrestling Twitter. No one should look at wrestling Twitter. But yes, you know if you know, and if you don't know, then you probably don't want to search it out. But also on this card was Eddie Edwards and Rhino, and here is my Eddie Edwards is a good wrestler. We all know that Eddie Edwards is probably one of the best wrestlers, and he's been for like maybe 5-6 years, even though everyone's tired of him right now. Rhino can still go. But the thing is, I think people expected this to. I don't think anyone expected this to be a Mac Classic, but I think it was more story driven than wrestling driven. Like you had Maria hand Eddie that candlestick, get thrown out. You had Matt Taven.
Yeah.
Trip Rhino, and then to give Eddie, and then you had that big huge ball where it's Swan and Willie Mack are in the ring and did like dives, and then you had Steve Macklin. I don't think I can say anything about Steve Macklin that I haven't said either to you in private or on this stream, because I think everyone should. And if you don't, here's me telling you, I love Steve Macklin. I've loved him since he was in the warehouse in WWE. I was just like, they really could maybe do something with him as a singles guy, and they never did, and they released him. And then when he came to Impact, I was just like, let's go. He can do something. And now
Steve Macklin is so good.
Yes. And Steve
Macklin, the OGK, and Eddie Edwards and Rhino, everyone
we need to talk about OGK.
Correctly.
They had they were a match on the pre-show that we'll get into, because I have thoughts about the OGK and the NWA's treatment of them.
And it kind of felt like a WWE match in a way, with all these run-ins.
Yeah, it was really it wasn't a match that was just, it wasn't a match that was a wrestling match first and a story match second. Like a lot of matches in Impact, well, not Impact, but AEW and whatever are. It was a match that was about the story first and the wrestling second, which worked. It worked. I'm not a big fan of those, because like, one of the things about me is I like Bret Hart over Shawn Michaels. I value in-ring work over character work. But like in small doses, it can be fine. That or I'm a stan and will forgive anything Impact does. Either one. I'm not sure. But one of those two. But yeah, Steve Macklin, like I told you, I don't know if I told you in private or on the show, Steve Macklin as the lone wolf who eventually murders Eddie, and then he and Josh we need to talk about Josh. He and Josh Alexander having a feud over the Impact World title. Give me that, please. Mm-hmm. I beg you, Scott Demore. I don't ask you for much. Actually, that's not true. I ask you for a lot. But this one, I really mean it. I ask you for a lot, but like this one, please give me that. We can talk about the pre-show. We didn't really talk about the pre-show, but we can. OGK versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
That was a fun match.
Yeah, I said before the match, I'm not sure I'm right, but I said before the match, this match will really tell if OGK are signed to Impact or not, because we we should probably talk about it in some capacity. Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. That was a big news. That's a big deal. And
that's major news.
Yes. Not only for Ring of Honor, but for the whole wrestling world.
Yeah, for sure. And what we're hearing he might do, it seems very interesting to me. I think what Tony Khan is going to do with Ring of Honor and turning it into a quasi developmental, have AEW talents come down and come up, so on and so forth. Then
it'll be like,
and it won't be like, it won't be treated as such. It'll be basically like if like you know how NXT in hockey.
Yes.
You know how in hockey they have the AHL, then the NHL?
Yes.
It's going to be exactly that.
It'll be like NXT back before it became like the super indie. It'll be like when Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, and those guys went down and up, and like it will help guys freshen up their character. It will give some young guys reps, and it'll help the older guys freshen up their character. Like imagine Danielson does not need to freshen up his character. Danielson will make her in ROH. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah.
Because Danielson,
I think all the ROH legends will come down every once in a while just to like reminisce, I guess.
Because Danielson loves ROH. Like
and
anybody that knows Danielson.
So does Punk.
Yes, we will talk about that later. That's right. Punk will also do a stint in ROH, but also like the older guys, like Ethan Page. I love Ethan Page. We will talk about Ethan Page later when we talk about Dynamite and Revolution. Yeah, but like, not really into this. I mean, we all know I don't like Dan Lambert, but like, there's something about this gimmick that. So when he would need a refresh, he would go down. It's like Cesaro. Although Cesaro could be another Cesaro in this situation. if he decides to.
Which we'll get into.
We'll talk about that when we finish up and we talk about like signings and movement around the wrestling board. Back to what I was saying about Impact.
Yeah,
OGK, I don't think signed with Impact. They might. They're on the roster page, but a lot of people are on the roster page.
They're definitely talking with Scott D'Amore and Gil Kim.
Yes.
They're definitely, especially knowing how Maria was always involved with the women's division. I'm sure
they might.
That's a talking point that Gail has brought up.
Yes, but they also might go to AEW. We know if Tony Khan calls up Maria and says, "Hey, you want to head up the women's division of my ROH brand?" Maria's there. So
because she really loved working with the ROH women.
Yes, and she has a good eye for talent. We saw that with like some of the girls ROH brought in really late in their run. That I'm pretty sure was mostly Maria. But I was just like, if OGK lose this match, I'm not sure they stay in Impact. Not because not because of that, but just because they might want to go back to ROH. Because we all know that Mike Bennett loves ROH. Matt Taven stayed in ROH when probably he could have gotten better offers anywhere else.
Yeah, he would have probably ended up either in Impact or NXT.
Yes, because let's be honest, we all love ROH. They didn't really. Sinclair never showed any interest in forking over big money.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Matt Taven could have gotten a deal anywhere else, especially because he had the whole Madison Square Garden thing that Jay White is leveraging right now. But I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm interested to see if OGK, because Rich Swann and Willie Mack won the match.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested so I'm interested in where OGK end up. I would love it if they stay in Impact. Don't get me wrong. This, I'm almost upset that I spent 5 years not getting Matt Taven, I guess is the right word. I was not the biggest
before
fan.
He won the ROH title, right?
No, last year when Mike Bennett came back, they became the OGK. That's when I was like, okay, I get this now. And his work right now as the de facto leader of Honor No More before Eddie showed up, was amazing. I love that. That's my favorite Matt Taven so far. And also on the pre-show, we had Lady Frost versus Giselle Shaw,
which that was really good too.
That was a fun match too. Lady Frost won. Giselle Shaw lost for the first time, but this feud is going to continue, and it's going to be fun. I love because I promised I wouldn't make fun of Tony Khan, but one of the big Tony Khan and I guess whoever runs NXT right now is that they try to build women up, but they don't have mid-card feuds. Women mid-card feuds a lot. And Tony Khan, both those brands are doing better right now. NXT had who was it? Amari Miller and Lash Legend, and then they did Wendy Chu and Tiffany Stratton, and now they're doing Tiffany Stratton and Saray.
And Dakota.
And Saray. And then we saw AEW. We'll talk about this later, but Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. That match was excellent.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to Layla Hirsch. She was putting in work.
Yes, we will talk about that later. Layla Hirsch was excellent. I'm a big fan of Layla Hirsch, even before she signed. And I love Chris Statlander.
She should be in Team Taz at some point.
Oh yeah. But Impact has done a really good job of they don't rest on their main event. But okay, it's a criticism. They don't rest on the main event. They put in women in the mid card, and they try to have that elevate them.
Yeah.
So I think that's one thing they could do here, and they do really well.
Yeah, and I think if the OGK go over, I'm sure having Maria in the office, I think, could help AEW.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially
in that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she knows how to put a women's division together.
Yes.
She brought in Chelsea Green into Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Which I thought was very interesting. I was hoping she would be the champion.
Yes.
Which of course ended up being Roxy.
Yes. Oh, also, we need Chelsea Green had a match on Sacrifice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Chelsea versus Diana, and it was a fun match. I don't really
and,
criticize match because
and
I've never
what's
been in the ring.
cool,
So like most of the
yeah,
time you hear me say fun or good. Um,
uh,
yes. And then I guess Chelsea either got shoe injured or work injured. I'm not sure, and I don't want to
we'll
like
find out.
disrespect Chelsea. Yeah. But yeah, and that
Uh,
ended. Diana
yeah,
won because the ref was like, nope, she can continue. And then Mickey and Tasha had a match, which was
mhm,
fun. Although I think the whole Chelsea kind of put a damper on that because everyone was like, oh, Chelsea's
mhm.
gonna come back, Chelsea's gonna come back. And then yeah, it was weird, but it was a good match because Tasha
Yeah,
and Mickey, like, they're both really good at what they do.
yeah,
And yeah, Tasha Steele
and
is the new knockouts champion, and I'm really looking
which,
forward to.
yeah, and and just seeing, like, shout out Jay Shell, like her reaction to seeing Tasha Steele's win was so cool. To see her hero win,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I'm a Tasha Steele's fan too. I think she's great, and I think her being with DPW's Savannah Evans is doing some really cool shit. Um, and her
Yeah.
as champion is going to be so cool
Hmm.
because she is going
She
to
can put on
put
bangers
a
with
new
anybody.
flair
Yes.
to that title compared to what Mickey was doing. Mickey
Yes.
was basically what Christian Cage was as Impact World Champion earlier last year.
Yeah. Tasha Steele is going to put on good matches with anybody. I think
Yeah,
uh, I honestly don't know who they're going to put against her next, which is fine. I'm looking forward
yeah,
to seeing who it is. Another match we didn't talk about that we should because it was also really good. Trey
yeah,
Miguel versus Jake Something for the X Division title.
yeah.
That
Which
match was
that
excellent.
match was interesting because Jake Something's contract is coming up.
He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
He
So I'm
announced he's
hoping he
leaving.
resigns
I'm too. I hope he resigns with Impact. I would not be surprised if he goes to
to ROH
AEW or
maybe.
yeah, another place. Because again, money is a thing, and I
Yeah.
don't fault any wrestler for like wanting to like. I don't fault wrestlers for what they do with their career
Yeah.
because there are a lot of motivation behind that we frankly don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a different business than what we see.
yes, yes. So I don't because also they need to do what's best for their lives, for their careers,
Yeah.
for whatever. Kevin Owens said it.
It's like if Joe Blow from construction decides to go to IT or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. But now Trey Miguel is still X Division champion, and Impact's announced a rebellion that's going to be a three-way.
Yeah.
I can probably guess one or two. I think either Ace, Speedball, or Chris Bay.
Or
Because those
Aubrey.
guys, it's a three-way, so two
Yeah.
of them have to be in there. Because those three are really like the stalwarts of the
Yeah.
X Division, like those,
Like
those.
the current X
Even though,
Division area.
even though Mike Speedball just got there, he's like already established himself
Yeah.
as
And
like
he's
one of those
having
guys.
a great year in the States.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing so much cool stuff.
Him versus Blake Christian was amazing for ECW.
Yeah, him
I
against DPW's own Blake Christian was awesome.
But speaking of which, that reminds me of two things. Impact, please sign Blake Christian. I want to see him on my screen. I want to see him in Ace Austin face off 1-on-1. I want to see him. Oh, right, okay, that's another good. But back to Blake Christian. Blake Christian is fantastic. He's only 24. Please sign him and do not keep him in a warehouse somewhere.
Yeah.
But also, going back to Shelley and Jay White, Motor City Machine Guns versus Jay White and Chris Bay. We were talking about that. Like, we thought that could happen at the show. It didn't. But if Alex Shelley is down to do more appearances in Impact, give me that tag team match. That would be amazing. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the X Division is awesome because the X Division is always awesome. Like, even if the company's suffering, you're going to get good matches in the X Division because that's what Impact was based on. Though.
Yeah, that's what like Tom Hannafin said when he first started. He was talking about the X Division and the origins of it, and and he
Tom
was
Hannafin is amazing. We need to talk about him.
Yeah.
Matthew Raywald is also pretty good at commentary.
Matt
Like,
Raywald.
both those guys are awesome. I'm sad to see D'Lo go, but D'Lo does do a lot of work backstage.
Yeah,
so
he's
like
himself and Len Storm are like, I think the top producers.
Yeah, Len
there.
Storm just joined. I think R.D. Evans is also another big name. R.D. Evans and Jimmy Jacobs might be creative though. But yeah, they're all involved in that. Josh Matthews is
and Christy Hemme too.
Yeah, Christy Hemme is like, Christy Hemme, Madison Rain, they both do work backstage too.
Yeah.
What was it called? Oh yeah, tag team match. The tag team titles. That's what. And I'm gonna be very careful with what I say, because I was probably one of the guys that liked Carl Anderson and Dark Gallows back in WWE. And although I really soured on them, I'm happy Violent by Design won. I'll put it like that. Violent by Design winning, Eric Young getting another, Joe Doring getting a title, although he had a title before. But like, I'm interested to see what Violent by Design can do in this.
Yeah. Especially like, has Doring still not spoken yet?
I don't think so. Maybe he says a few words, but like, he doesn't speak much. It's mostly like Eric Young speaking.
Yeah.
But also, we talked about him earlier. Ace Austin, Madman Fulton versus Eric Young and Joe Doring. Again, that would be amazing. The Impact has I don't think this is just for Impact, but like, Impact does have a lot of good guys. They can just mix and match. I don't know what Good Brothers do now. Maybe they'll go back to AEW, where there's a Bullet Club feud. Not Bullet Club, but like Bullet Club, Elite, all those feud coming.
And that way they have a direct signal to New Japan Strong. They have a direct to ROH too. So if they want to go left or go down or go up, they can. And
Good Brothers have a lot of options that don't involve taking the Impact World Tag Team titles hostage, is what we're saying.
Yeah. It's like they can do anything. Just like, don't pull a Nick Aldis again.
Don't hold them hostage, please. I love Impact too much for you guys to hold the titles hostage.
Like, anyways, I like the Good Brothers too. Like,
we like the Good Brothers. I like them.
I literally have an OC shirt.
Yeah, I'm higher on them than most people are, is what we're saying.
Yeah. We love them deviled eggs.
Yes, we just don't want to see you in charge of a tag team division again.
Yeah.
Okay, back to other people. Moose versus Heath. I love Heath. Don't get me wrong. I love Heath. But this match was what it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I think Heath could find a place in the main scene, like the book. But like, they need to work on that a little bit. And they didn't really. They just kind of like, okay, we need a fresh body for 2 weeks. Who do we have? Heath's backstage. Let's put him in. And like, we all love Heath. Like, everyone in the world loves Heath. But it was what it was to be.
And Heath's a veteran at this point.
He's good at that. He only had 2 weeks, and he's good at that. But it was what it needed to be. A few hope spots from Heath, but Moose pretty much dominated. And Anthony Corelli is at ringside, which is interesting, although not really.
Because it was very interesting to see Santino there.
Yes,
like, especially all dressed up like that. Like,
but again, Impact does have a lot of Canadian roots. Like, we saw that they got Lance Storm. Like, the head of, like we'll talk about later, but the head office is not really a mile, but the head office is very close to where Josh Alexander lives. So they have a lot of Canadian roots. And they want to do a lot of partnerships with Canadian wrestling promotions, which I get.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Destiny Wrestling, by the way.
Yes. But again, an Iceman, someone else who he has a show on BTI all the time where he talks about like scoops and whatever. But the match was Moose won, and I popped because we were texting at the exact moment about Madison Square Garden, and like, my mini reaction when he came was, I don't care about Madison Square Garden. I do not care about WWE. Josh Alexander is back on my screen.
Yeah.
I popped. Like, that was just
me too. When I saw that, I went, oh my God, The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Josh.
But there's one thing that has yet to be happening.
Okay. And we've talked about this before. Like, I was like, yeah, I think Josh is coming back, but I'm not going to trust anything until he's on my screen. And a big part of that was Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah.
Brandy named up Josh. But I was last mad about that last week because sorry, not last week. Whenever CJ and Eddie Kingston did their talking segment, because CJ was name dropped
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yes, I have time. I watch a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, me too. But I somehow still remember everything.
Yeah, I watch a lot of wrestling. Oh wait, yeah, because last week was okay, sorry. But then CJ name dropped Eddie Edwards, and I was like, great. So name drops mean nothing. Josh is coming back, hopefully, and he did, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, and I texted you that night. I told you that I had seen.
That was RD Evans. I know what you're talking
saying
about.
That Josh.
No, that
was at the show.
That was RD Evans. Because like the tweet was just a bald guy wearing denim. So Josh commented, that's RD, because RD is backstage producer too.
No, he had the jacket too.
Maybe it's a different guy, but no, because like Jade,
it was literally Josh's outfit from that day.
Yeah,
like Jade he was literally hanging out backstage.
Jade posted a video on Twitter like the morning of, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Josh is still here. We're all hanging out with the kids at gymnastics." And then after Josh came back, she posted the video but longer, and it says Josh saying, "I'm going to Louisville to beat Moose." And then he did. He showed up, and he has multi-year contract, and I'm so happy he is in Impact to stay, because again, I can talk about my love of Eddie Edwards all day long and all night.
Yeah,
Josh is Impact. Like, Josh should be the face of Impact right now. I would love if Stallion had like Jonah, Macklin, Edwards, Callahan when he comes back, because I want Josh to like not to like hold the company down, but I want Josh to be like the new and the old and establish that he is Impact. And then in a year, which it should be a year, Scott Amar, because you did screw him out with this last one, in a year, he can drop it to Ace Austin. And then we can start the cycle all over again. And then maybe if, I don't know how long Speedball's contract is.
Yeah, I was about to say, put the title in Speedball at some point.
Yes, Ace versus Speedball could be a main title feud instead of for the X Division title or whatever they're doing with that.
But either or, I'm fine with, because I know it's going to be good either way.
Yeah, Speedball versus Ace, it's going to be a good match when it finally happens. That's also another interesting storyline that we should talk about since we're pretty much done with our sacrifice movie. Speedball and Ace Austin as best friends. I like it. I wasn't sure when the storyline was going, when the storyline started, but
it's somehow super entertaining.
It is so Speedball though. Like if anyone's ever interacted with Speedball at all, Speedball, it's like Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy in a way. Except this like if Harry Potter shook Draco's hand. But anyone that knows Speedball knows that he's like
the nicest dude on earth.
Yes, like he's super chill. Like, so it makes perfect sense. And last week when Speedball was like, "Yeah, I know you two didn't win the world tag team titles, but I think you and me can," and then walks off, and Fulton's upset, and Ace is like, it's fine. Trust me, I got this." There's
a turn happening at some point.
Yeah. But I would like to see either one of. Because my thing is, if you can put Red Dragon and Young Bucks in a tag team title match when you have FTR, Top Flight, PNP, Santana Ortiz, you can Impact and put Ace Austin and Mike Bailey in the same X Division title match. Yeah. And we will talk about that because that tag team match did rule. I will say that. Okay, let's talk about Revolution.
Yeah, let's talk about Revolution.
Holy shit. We will eventually get to the man in our graphic. Yeah. Because that was a thing on its own. But let's start from the top this time.
The whole show in general was just amazing. Yeah. Just everything like lined up like
there were pacing. There was something that was there was from pacing, but like that was a really good show. we said we talked about it. Chris Statlander versus Layla Hirsch. It opened the show and it opened the buy-in, and those two put in work.
Yeah, I love that match. It was all like perfectly because
yes, it was how it should have been.
Yeah,
Layla Hirsch was the bad guy. Yes,
Layla as the baby face.
Other way
after the orphan comment.
No, it was Layla was a bit. It was. Yeah, I get that orphan comment. I would not have made that easy either, but like I think I hate using this phrase. I really do. Believe me, I hate it as much as everyone's probably sick and tired of hearing it. But there's shades of gray.
Yeah,
and this is how people 100%. Act. I think WWE, they were for a while, they were like, this person's a face, they only say good things. This person's a heel, they only say bad thing. But that's not how real people talk.
Yeah,
real people are much more. So I get why AEW did that. I would not have made that choice when I was trying to make a mid card like babyface, but that was their choice, and we stopped. And also another thing, AEW, maybe don't put turnbuckles under the ring. Like that does not seem safe, and we know it's not safe because Chris Statlander got bonked in the head fight with Layla Hirsch.
That was funny though. Just like
yes. Yes. But yeah, and in the end, Layla wins. I was right, you were wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
Layla wins, and
she's showing that shade of gray, like heel tendency.
She is a heel. I think because and also sorry,
but because of the comment, it was flipped.
I think everyone loves Chris. Like, let's be honest. There's no one. I mean, some people might not like the alien thing, but like everyone loves Chris. Everyone.
Chris is awesome.
Yeah. I was going to make this a tweet, but I don't tweet, so I'm just going to say here. My favorite subgenre of AEW wrestlers are the ones that don't understand why they're talking and they just want to fight. Like Layla, like King, like Marks. They're all just like, why am I doing this promo? I want to fight. Let me fight.
They just want to beat the fuck out of each other.
Yes. So yeah. And then we saw Red Velvet come out, and we're going to get Red Velvet versus Layla.
Chris probably. Soon. Or Layla, yeah.
Once again, Chris is the face. I know it's confusing how AEW does it, but believe me, Chris is the face. What was next? Oh yeah, we had Hook versus QT.
Versus QT. Which that was awesome.
That was fun. That was long match than I thought it would be. But like, if Hook's going to bump against anyone, it should be QT because QT can protect him. Like for his first long bumping match, like QT can like make him look good because that is QT's job. Like, I know people don't like seeing
and QT literally taught him, so
yes,
he knows how to make his trainees look good. He's done it with some former Nightmare Family talent too.
Like again, people don't like QT, and I get it, but like QT's job is not to like win feuds. QT's job is to like make you look good, and QT can make you look good. Like, what was the last time we saw QT in this extended role before the Hook feud? I think it was the Punk match, but but the Punk match was really just to set up the MJF Punk thing. So but QT can make you look good. Like, that's his job, and Hook did look good. Hook looked awesome.
Yeah,
and it was only 5 minutes, so I mean, it wasn't that long. But for a Hook match, it was long. But like in the span of things. We have a 6-man next.
Yeah,
we finally
one of two.
Yes, we finally get to see Buddy Matthews in AEW ring, and that man did not look out of place at all. Neither did Redbeard. That's another issue. But Buddy Matthews did not look out of place, even though he hasn't wrestled on TV in what, a year? No, sorry, 6 months.
Just about.
6 months to a year.
A little over 6 months, I think.
Yeah, he got early. But like Buddy put in work, and like Buddy Matthews versus Pac, that's a TV main event if you want to go that out.
For sure.
We'll talk about the world title in a little bit when talking about Page versus Cole. But
which, by the way, speaking of the world title, in between the two buy-in matches, they had Don Callis coming out.
I bid on
and they
that.
had the little Kenny thing, and like
I
everyone
thought it was
popped, and
Kenny.
then went.
I thought
Me
it was
too.
Kenny.
I thought it was Kenny too. I went, oh shit, Kenny's here.
I
And
thought
then when Dunn came out, I was like, oh, you motherfucker.
Okay, here's the thing. I did not think it was Kenny, but I thought it was Kenny because my thing was if Kenny's here and he comes out in this segment, our payoff for the whole Bucks, whole Red Dragon page thing won't come later because Kenny is going to be a part of that. So my thought was, okay, if Kenny's here, he's not coming out in the end. So I kind of knew what was happening. But then Don Callis came out, and I was like, is Kenny here? But whatever. Don Callis is still annoying as ever. Kenny Omega can never be a face if Don Callis is with him. So I hope they get rid of Don Callis.
And if I would pick between the two, I'd think Dan Lambert would be the babyface between Callis and Lambert.
Anybody would be a babyface against Don Callis. Yeah. I mean, not anybody. There are exceptions, but like most people would be baby faces. But yeah, back to the 6-man. Like all 6-man put in work. They didn't have to. It was a bind match. It was almost 20 minutes, but still, they could have just taken it easy. But they went boom, boom. Even Redbeard, who we don't know how many matches he has in AEW, but him and Brody King put in work.
Yeah, those two big
that shoulder tackle sequence
just fucking.
Yes. As someone who is a big fan of 90s All Japan, that shoulder tackle sequence was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, if they ever Jonas signed on a short-term deal. I think he's up at like maybe a billion, but he might have signed longer. But Jonah was
but he might go strong full now that he's with Shane, unless Shane comes over to Impact, which I wouldn't be against that.
Neither would I. Shane and Mikey would be a good tag team for Impact. But that match was awesome. House of Black won. Like we all thought they would. Like, no offense to Penta Park. I think they're waiting for Phoenix to come back, and then they're on the 6-man.
Yeah,
and then we'll see what happens.
That's why they brought Redbeard in. I think.
And then the first match of the card was the one I was most nervous about because I trusted AEW to do the right thing. I just wasn't sure they would, but they did. Yeah, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho. Kingston won, and Chris Jericho.
And this was not your typical WWE style.
It was they Chris had Jericho a pure match. Japan match. They went for Japan, and don't drop, guys. Okay, can AEW? You guys need to stop dropping people on their head, please. I beg you. I would like to see these guys.
They need their head.
yes.
They need to remember stuff.
Yes, but that was a good match. I don't know how. It was like 13 minutes, 14 just minutes, about, I guess. Yeah, so it was a good pace match. Eddie won by submission. And I throw a lot of dirt on his name. And some I do not take back. Actually, a lot I don't take back. But Chris Jericho has put in the time and the work to like get back in shape and give Kingston a good match. Jericho's
now NBA Twitter won't have to give him shit.
Yes. But Jericho's putting in the work, so I have to applaud him for that. And Chris didn't shake Eddie's hand. Like that was the big thing. He was like, "Yeah, I'll respect you."
He'll address it tonight.
Yes, I hope they don't elongate this feud any longer than it has to be. I also want to know what Santana and Ortiz are going to do. If like Kingston, if like Chris Jericho,
I would assume they do something tonight.
Yeah, if like Jericho low blows Kingston and then maybe like does what he did to Shawn Michaels, they might get involved and like finally break apart from Chris Jericho, but we'll see.
And go full LAX.
Yeah, with Diamante. Diamante needs to be there. I don't know why Tony Khan is so hesitant to like pull the trigger on the Inner Circle breakup. They should have broken up. Like,
I think it's Jericho.
No. Jericho said.
Excuse me, like Jericho being in his ear and saying like, "Hold off for a little bit."
Maybe, but no. Jericho said before he was just like, "Let's all shake hands. Let's all go our separate ways. We're done. We did all we could. It's been a good run." And then Tony Khan was like, "Why do you guys need to break up? Like maybe you guys should stay together." So I don't know why. Maybe it's Jericho. Maybe it's Tony Khan. I just think it needs to end. Let Sammy.
We'll find out sooner or later.
Let Sammy be great. Let
put up a report, I think.
Yeah. Let PMP be great. Let everyone be great.
Yeah.
In that circle that needs to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get this 3-way tag match.
Yeah.
And
I love this match.
all 6 men are really good. And all 6 men did not disappoint. And it was insane.
Yeah.
Like the bumps they took were insane.
Especially Kyle and Matt Jackson. Those two guys just they took every possible bump they could.
And that's the thing we'll talk about a lot in this card is that they put in work. Like everyone on this card put in work. I'm not. We'll talk about ratings for Death and Sacrifice later. But yeah, this match was really good. Jurassic Express won, which is the right decision. Like that Red Dragon was the Young Bucks feud, which we'll also talk about later. Did not need the tag titles. And Jurassic Express should not lose the tag belts for a feud they are not part of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good match. Speaking of crazy bumps, is Ricky Starks okay?
Yeah, that power bomb.
Yeah, the ladder match was up next, and I don't know what anyone expected from this ladder match, but I don't think anyone got what they expected because like everyone was like, yeah, big meaty man, and then everyone was like, okay, short guys doing weird stuff, and it was
it was literally gonna be
in the weirdest way, and it was really good.
Christian Cage.
Christian laid out the match. Yeah. That's why I think Christian had to be a part of this because he I think he laid out most of the stuff because he's the veteran of the ladder match. But yeah, that match, it was crazy. It was insane. Like OC, Orange Cassidy, like I think people forget he can do a lot of the stuff he can do.
Yeah.
He was great. Ricky Starks, before that, what should we call it? Miscue. Let's call it miscue. Hopefully, it'll be okay. I think he did cushion his neck to protect himself. But yeah.
I would assume so. He's been wrestling over 10 years now. I think he knows how to do it.
Yes. But yeah, Hobbs did good too. Keith Lee.
He had a great showing.
Keith Lee versus Hobbs is going to be good. But the main star, and we'll talk about him later too. Wardlow finally got the big moment.
Yeah. And this is going to start a big moment in Wardlow's career.
Yes.
Here in AEW. He's going to be one of these guys.
We'll talk about that later because we need to get into our predictions about what happens in AEW the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, good ladder match, insane ladder match. Some of the bumps I would personally not recommend people that want to live long, healthy lives take. But also, if you want to live long, healthy lives, I very much doubt you are pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, a good match. Wardlow won. Okay, Jade versus Tay. We're not going to talk about that moment that I know you want to talk about. It was a good match.
I'm just going to say this. That was amazing. Did not expect that.
Okay,
but
yes.
I sat there and went, we're starting off with this? Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, the actual match. By the way, Jade's cosplay.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
And shout out to Kingfish for the guitar playing. That was super.
Kingfish wasn't Kingfish. That whole entrance, even the part we're not talking about, was awesome. Like that whole stuff, the match was awesome. And the match was good too. It was I love Tay.
Like they kept cutting to Dan Lambert, Man of the Year, and
that was
Paige
weird.
Van Zandt,
but I think I get it, and we'll talk about that later. Because I know you have a lot to say about that. But like I'm higher on Tay than most. I'm probably higher on Jade than a lot of people. Did not expect this match to go this long, but it was good. I will give them that. It's good.
You can tell she had that Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson. Sanjay Dutt is working with her. She has a lot of good mentors, and she's only going to get better. Like she is an athletic specimen. Like she's like the sky's the limit for her. What?
Yeah, and these guys know exactly what they want out of her, and
Yes.
she's starting to bring that out.
Yes. I'm interested to see how this road ends. And we'll talk about how roads end in AEW Women's Division when we talk about what we expect to come from the next few weeks. Again, like I said before.
Yeah.
But I think AEW should get like, not women's tag team, but I think Anna and Tay should like do something together in the tag team. But yeah, and then Jade, I think you get an established talent, and that's the person who finally beats her for the title. Some people have said Athena. I won't mind Tony Storm, Mia Yim's out there. Like there's a lot of good names you can pick out.
Yeah.
And now we start the bloodiness. And I know you have a lot to say about this entrance, so I will let you say it. I loved it too.
AFI. Holy shit. When that first bar start hitting, I went, what's that? And then when everybody started popping, I went, no, it can't be. And then Buddy came out in the fucking basketball shorts, and I went, holy shit, this is so freaking cool. I just sat there, jaw dropped, just, oh, this is gonna be fun. In the basketball shorts and the exact same jacket too. Oh my god, this was so fucking cool.
I kind of expected the theme song because everyone was talking about it in a couple of days, and you know, Punk, like, he listens to Twitter. I mean, he doesn't listen.
Yeah, he's aware.
He's aware of Twitter. So I did not expect the basketball shorts. I was just like, oh, we're getting ROH Punk, and for whatever reason,
he did this. He did the thing too.
Punk is the callbacks of callbacks. Punk loves call. But that is why for half a second, I thought we were getting Raven. I thought Raven was going to play a part in this match somehow, even if it were just ringside.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I would have also loved if he brought the blonde back, but he didn't. So
yeah, but it's
this was a good match. It was long, so we're not going to go beat by beat, but it was bloody, like Punk bled.
Yeah, Buddy was like, Punk was gushing blood, like it was going everywhere. JR all throughout the night was being off and on, but for this match, he was ringer. Like he was,
when JR's on, he's on. Like that's the thing about JR. He could be on.
And then when he's not on, he's like, Tony, what are you doing? Which we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yes, we will talk about JR and all his JR. But the big part of the match for me, I mean, for a lot of people, MJF calls for the ring. Wardlow comes out. Wardlow doesn't have the ring. And then when like MJF is down and Punk is like kind of down, he's like
he's like crawling almost.
Yes. Wardlow was like, he reaches into his pocket, but he takes out the ring, and this is the best part for me. Wardlow just looks at the crowd. He's like, "Oops, when did that get in there?" And he puts the ring on the.
He didn't throw it.
Yeah, he puts the ring on the mat.
He slowly put it down,
and he's like, he walks away. He's like, "Punk,
I didn't do shit.
Punk, all yours. Do what you want." But yeah, that kind of made it for me. And Punk won, and I'm fine with Punk winning. Like, especially in the context it happened, I'm fine with Punk winning.
And
I'm interested to see, because like,
I mean, if he was in the basketball shorts, he had to win.
You can't extend this feud any longer. You did 3 months. We did not think you could get 3 months out of this feud. Sorry, it was what, Thanksgiving?
Just
November?
about,
So 1, 2, 3, 4 months. We do not think you could extend it 4 months. You did. Congratulations.
But it was fun.
They're done. You cannot extend this right now. When one of them is world champion, you can go back to it. I would love that. I would love that.
We'll get into a little bit later.
We're going to do a whole wrap up of AEW and Impact in the end. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think these two go the separate ways. And hey, they gave us a lot of great memories. This brought out the CM Punk a lot of us loved.
Yeah, and this brought out CM Punk of old. This brought out
and when he was talking at the press conference at the scrum about how much he loved
Ring of Honor.
ROH and Pro Wrestling, he was an actual heel. And that's like, if you followed CM Punk from before the pipe bomb to when he left to now, believe you me, that is not a sight anyone thought they would see again. Because Punk was like, you and I, like, we watched at the time. So you and I both know Punk was like, do not talk to me about wrestling. I don't want anything to do with wrestling. I will block you if you talk to me about wrestling.
Yeah.
Do not mention the word wrestling to me.
Mm-hmm. He even said in an interview with Chris Van Vliet at some award show or whatever, saying that he'd never come back to WWE or even pro wrestling.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm done with wrestling. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I'm done. I want to make comments.
He said, I'm never going
hang out with my wife. I'm done with the wrestling. Yeah. So now to get this side of Punk is like really special for a lot of people that were Punk fans.
And especially ROH Punk.
Yes.
Like, we thought we'd just get,
happy to be here.
Punk.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. This is my last run, boys. I'm going to do anything I want.
Yeah.
But like, did the thing finally?
Yes.
And oh my God.
It was amazing.
That's going to be remembered forever. Even though people are still debating it.
Yes. Also, if you haven't seen it yet,
as we were
we don't want you to talk about that. We do not, like I said before, no one should pay attention to wrestling Twitter. Wrestling Twitter sucks. But also, if you haven't seen it, CM Punk was the Raven is well worth your time. Even though the Adakala match already happened, watch CM Punk was the Raven. It's worth your time if you're fine with like all that blood.
Go watch both matches back to back. You'll see how many references there is from all of the dog collar matches. There's a little bit of everything. There's even a little bit of Max's stuff in MLW because he had a dog collar match there. And
yes, this was filled with callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
This match I've had 2 days to think about, so I think I've softened in my opinion, and I kind of get what Britt won. Britt Baker was
me too.
I've said before, like, I don't like all the what was it? Not the run-ins.
Yeah, the Reba.
Yes,
stuff there. Yeah.
But yeah, it was whatever. This match, like, I could have done without, and we know why they did all that. Like,
we'll get into it.
Later about why they did all that. So yeah, Britt Baker won. This match honestly could have, if this was the route they were going, they could have gotten here a lot shorter. Like, again, I'm not the biggest fan of visual pins. Because I'm kind of, this might be my whole, I watched WWE for like 10
it's years. Hard because I like both of these girls.
Yes.
But yeah, this felt off.
Yes.
I think this was, they're preparing for what's happening.
This was a filler match for both of them. They knew what they were coming up with.
They knew what was coming in 2 weeks.
Yes. But yeah, it was what it was. Like, for once in my life, I'm going to wait to judge a match until we get to a second match. Most of the time, I think matches should be taken like separately, but like for once, I'll wait.
Yeah.
And that brings out probably my match of the night. No offense to any of the other matches. Yeah. We got John Moxley versus who I and will probably always, while he's active, believe is the best wrestler in the world today, Bryan Danielson.
Agreed. He's the GOAT. And
this match.
Oh my God, this had everything about like pure rules, I guess you can call it. It was literally just two dudes just punching the fuck out of each other and just going ham.
This was wrestling the way I like wrestling.
Me too.
Because like I like all types of wrestling, but like but there's nothing better than two dudes like being the absolute shit out of each other.
Yeah, just that's what two guys being dudes.
Yes. I only have one criticism of this match, and it's a really little thing. That was the most obvious plating I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
I love Danielson. I will go on record as much time as they need to. But like maybe work on the camera angles when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Like maybe don't like show him reaching under his wrist tape for that. But yeah, that's a small thing. But yeah, other than that match was amazing. Moxley bled. There was a lot of blood. And
dude was gushing.
And then Moxley got the pin because he reversed Danielson's submission. And those two kept fighting. And then it happened. How did none of us see this coming? Like none of us.
Yeah.
Like you can. I watch a lot of wrestling podcasts. No one said,
me too.
Hey, William Regal should debut and join Moxley and Danielson. No, it was always William Regal's going to debut in NXT in ROH. He's going to bring Samoa Joe. Claudio's going to come and join them, or Samoa Joe's going to come and join Danielson and Moxley. No one said
hey, Regal.
Yes, and Tony Khan, you get all my approval. I will not make fun of you for another 2 weeks.
That look of disgust on Regal's face when he stepped foot in the ring, he was just like.
Okay, for those that don't know, I think Excalibur did. Yes, I think Excalibur did a good job of explaining it. But Moxley and Regal, they had problems in FCW, and if you ask Bryan Danielson, William Regal made him the wrestler he is today. Like Danielson is very open.
He is the reason why he got fired from WWE the first time before the NXT.
Yes,
the NXT
before everything happened, and William Regal has put his neck on the line for a lot of stars.
Yeah,
William Regal is the man. No one.
He made Sasha Banks what she is today. He made.
I mean, he didn't make her, but he was just like, if she doesn't work out, then he can fire me. And he put his career on the line for Sasha, and you're frozen. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking. But William Regal was instrumental in a lot, and so to see him and the look of disgust, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
It was great because it was like he was watching his two sons fight. Okay, here's the thing. I was a bit behind everyone else when I was watching, so someone messaged me Regal in all caps, and I was like, no. And then I saw him coming out the aisle, and I was like.
The crowd popped for him.
Yes, I love this so much.
It was Danielson and Moxley beating the shit out of each other. They cut.
And then you saw Regal walk.
Then you see Regal walk, not even down the aisle. He came from the crowd.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then you saw him get. He is probably one of the only two men in the world John Moxley listens to. I don't know the other man. I'm assuming there's another man John Moxley listens to, but William Regal is definitely one of the men. And because William Regal is not afraid to do anything, he wiped John Moxley's blood on his face, he got in John Moxley's face and slapped him, and then Danielson laughed. Danielson should not have laughed. Yes, because William Regal saw Danielson laughing and he slapped him too. And
he was awesome. Oh. Bro's gonna get in trouble, pretty much. And
we do not laugh at William Regal, and then made Regal them shake hands.
Friggin' just put his entire power, especially on the Moxley slap. My God,
because you need to do that with Moxley. Moxley's the wild shot. His theme is wild thing. He doesn't lose to anybody. So and I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I love this, even if it's just those two and William Regal. I don't need. I mean,
even bringing in Joe and Claudio.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later when we talk about the future.
Yeah,
but even if it's those two and William Regal, even if they don't get any of the young guys, I'm fine with that. Just let Danielson and Moxley mess up these people.
Mm-hmm. Those two guys with Regal are going to make a lot of damage. And I'm sure they're going to talk about it tonight.
Yes.
Which is going to be interesting.
Maybe. We'll talk about Dynamite, and then we'll talk about the future for AEW in a little bit. But I said this earlier in the stream, Sammy Guevara, please don't die.
Yes.
Next up, we have the Trios Tornado match.
Spanish Fly was whoa, bro.
He's not, I mean, he actually looked at the camera and was like, yeah, I'm crazy. And I'm like, yes, we get you crazy. Yeah. Don't do that.
And even Aubrey Edwards was like, bro.
He missed one of the tables. One of the tables just okay, you don't need me. I'm out. But
he's like, I'm 25 years old. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's not going to hurt me for another 20 years. Why not?
Yeah. But okay. In Sammy's defense, a lot of guys do crazy shit. Then those guys become fathers. And they're like, hey, maybe I do want to do stuff with my kids. Maybe I do want to run around with them. Maybe I do want to hold them when they're older. And maybe I change my style. It happens. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him later. But like Matt Hardy's still doing crazy ass shit, but he's just he's just like, this leg drop, it has like showing it like feeds my spine and my back together. Maybe I don't do that anymore. Too. Yes, spine and his ass. I don't know. I said back. Maybe I don't do that anymore. So yeah, there is a point in every wrestler's life, and they're like, when they like worry about stuff other than themselves. Like we saw Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Someone asked him, hey, why don't you do the backwards 450, the 054? He's like, well, you see, I took stock and decided I want to play with my grandkids one day. So I'm going to stop doing that stuff. But I think I hope
and that's a smart choice from Ali.
Yeah, because
to be like I don't want to be 71 years old and still doing 054s.
Yes, because like eventually, like you can't stand up because your knees are like, nope.
Yeah,
you messed us up. We're done. So yeah, I do think Sammy will eventually
slow down on that stuff.
Yeah,
like probably around 35-40. That's when he's gonna.
While we're all saying this, you know what else happened in that match? Sting did a New Jack tribute.
Yeah, I went. No, holy shit! This man, his 63rd birthday is in 2 weeks.
That's a hell of a way to spend your 63rd. And also, while we're talking about people in this match, like this storyline, despite how much you might like it or dislike it, this Matt Hardy storyline, has really allowed Isaiah Cassidy to shine.
Yeah, at both Private Party Boys.
Yes, like Isaiah Cassidy is the breakout star of this storyline, in my opinion. Andrade,
especially with this 2 watches and toning ass and all that type of shit.
I meant more in the ring, but yeah. Andrade, I don't think anybody needs to talk about how good Andrade is. I think we spent and Matt Hardy is just. Matt Hardy is in a weird space, I would think, because a lot of people, when we say, they're just waiting for X, Y, and Z to happen, we give that as an excuse to, they're slowing down. They're like they're like calling it in. Matt Hardy is waiting for his brother to come back, but Matt Hardy is not.
But he's still having killer matches. Matt Hardy is
not calling it in at all.
But this man has like 85 kids, and he's still having crazy ass matches.
He has to have these matches because he does have 85 kids.
Exactly.
But yeah, Matt Hardy was good. Everyone in this match was good. It was weird not placement on the card, but like weird, like how they laid everything out. But it was still good. So yeah, props to all of them. This match was like 13 minutes. It didn't really overstay its welcome. Although one thing, this was just me because like it was a long pay-per-view with the buy and everything. So yeah. But Tony needs to work on the pacings of this show. And I love every match on this card. Maybe me too. Shorten some of them by a little bit or start earlier. Yeah. And finally, like I said before, we're not going to go like bit by bit in each match. Adam Cole's
because that would take us way too long.
Yeah, Adam Cole's gear.
Yeah. Master Chief. Oh my god. When he came out in the Master Chief gear, I went, oh my, that's not Adam Cole. That's the Chugs.
Yeah, Adam Cole's gear was amazing.
Yeah, I saw that and went, oh, that's gonna be a figure.
Yes, the match was good too. But again, we wrestling promoters, they overbook. They shouldn't, but they do. And I think Dragon being out there and the Young Bucks not is an integral part of the story.
Yeah.
I just think it could have happened 10 minutes before it did. I mean, not 10 minutes before it did. I think the match could have been like 5-10 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. It just like felt like too long, I guess. But it was and Cole and Page pretty much. Page was really good too.
Yeah, that was very good.
Both of them prove why they belong.
Somebody was saying yesterday in calling it a NXT Takeover 2019 title match, and I agree 100%. And this is on the same level as Johnny versus Adam.
They don't mean that in the quality; they mean that in the time, though. Because like there were a couple spots where you like
there were both.
It was both.
But there
were a couple spots where they were like someone kicked out when they was like that should have been the finish.
Yeah, and they did that.
That did not take away from the match.
Oh my god, facial expression.
Yeah, that did not take away from the match though. I feel like this match was really good. I just felt like it could have been shorter, but it is what it is. Like Adam, like it was a really long pay-per-view, but it was still it was a good pay-per-view overall. I don't like doing star ratings. I don't like doing ratings at all. But I'll ask you, Revolution 1 to 10.
9.5.
I was going to go with 9. So yeah, we're pretty close on that. Do you want to do sacrifice ratings?
That'll probably be just a straight up 8.
Yeah, I was going to go with 8 too. But yeah, both good shows. Both companies have really good stuff to build on.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the future, especially one thing in particular I know you're very excited to talk about.
Yeah.
Scorpio. Oh, before you talk, I do have one quick note to add on that.
Yeah.
Scorpio Sky was Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Is on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I think inadvertently, the way they build this up, they made the TNT title on par with the world title, because everything you see about this match is Scorpio Sky is undefeated, so now he wants the TNT title.
And they kept cutting towards Sammy.
Yeah, but Scorpio Sky is undefeated is the big part. Scorpio Sky is undefeated. Does he want the world title? No. What does he want? He wants the TNT title. So that inadvertently, I think, in my opinion, has helped build the TNT title up. But also, TK did not want to give this match to Scorpio by itself. TK wanted something.
Yeah.
And I will let you talk about what that something is.
And that something is something that I've been waiting for since she first debuted with ATT. Paige Van Zandt is all fucking elite. Oh my god, when you sent me that tweet, I went, no way. My mind went, oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh my god. And I can't wait to see what she does. Like this is just straight up gonna be like, if they go the route of PVZ versus Ty, oh my god, that's gonna be good. They could put her with Mercedes. They could put her with whoever. Take my money, TK. Like I'll watch these damn matches, because oh my god. And she hinted it on Instagram earlier yesterday. Like it is pretty much official at this point that Paige Van Zandt is all elite, but she like kind of played it off as if it's a surprise, which it is kind of adorable. But this is just gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait to see where it goes. And Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think
tonight is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I have nothing to add to that. I think you pretty much just thoroughly explained what's about to happen. So I'll look into the future for this one. St. Patrick's Day Slam is on the 16th next week.
Yeah.
And Wardlow, he won the Face of the Revolution ladder match, so he gets his title shot. I think it's going to be against Sky. I think Scorpio, because Wardlow is about to be a face, so I think it would make sense to do it. What's this, Sky?
Against Scorpio,
yeah. So
on that same night.
Yes, but we'll talk about the TNT and then we'll get to Wardlow is not winning. You don't have Sky drop in a week. I think MJF takes the week off this week, and he returns next week. I think this week you do something with Wardlow and Sean Spears. And then next week,
to
MJF,
break off that.
Yes, and then next week MJF returns and he cost Wardlow, and then you do the sprint to May. Sorry, to Double or Nothing, because I think I don't know if I mentioned on here. I know I mentioned to you a bunch. There's nobody to take the world title off Hangman Page. There's not MJF.
Yeah,
like
unless
I think MJF,
Punk.
He'll CM Punk. CM Punk is the only other person I will accept. But I think it's gonna be
Punk
MJF.
Kind of did the
Punk
thing.
hinted at it. We'll see what happens.
And he hinted it on the scrum. He was like, he
wants the world title. He wants the world title.
He said, if they give me it, I'll do it. Like he was all in on it.
That was I think Hangman, what's his Punk is going to be the last. Oh, I'm so happy to be here, Punk. We're going to get, no matter what happens. He's not going to stay face for very long if they do that.
No, and Punk knows that. He's aware of what people want. Like they're slowly burning towards the Punk we all know.
Yes, and it's going to be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Another feud that they will continue, CJ and Kingston. Dynamite, CJ is going to address Kingston. And I do not make predictions when it comes to CJ anymore.
Yeah.
I just hope they don't save it for Double or Nothing. I hope they because they have a couple of big, not shows, but big TV specials.
Like I think they have another quarterly show soon, eh?
Yeah. This could just be a regular TV main event. Like AEW has shown they're good at blowing off matches, blowing off feuds in TV main events.
Yeah.
And finally, we'll get to the thing you want to talk about for a while. And then this week, we get Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa because both of them are 1 and 2 in the rankings. Yeah. And the winner faces Britt Baker next week.
Which I think we all know who's going to win because we know what they're planning for.
And a really important note is that next week, AEW is in San Antonio.
Which is Thunder Rosa's adopted hometown.
Thunder Rosa's stomping grounds.
Where she's made her wrestling career.
So I think Thunder. I love Layla Hirsch. Thunder wins. Thunder faces Britt Baker. Thunder beats Britt Baker, and then we get
and gets a big pop. And
I think we get Jamie versus Mercedes early in the show, and then we finally get the Jamie Hayter turn in this match.
Yeah.
Or Britt Baker turn. I'm not sure which one they will turn, but they'll turn one of them.
I think you turn Hayter face. I mean, people already love her.
Yes.
So for a good reason. And why not? She's already going to get a major pop anyway. But
that's I think we covered a lot of AEW because there's so much and like we talked about before with ROH, there's so many different ways they can take each storyline. They can add some people, they can put them in ROH, like Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson. They can put them in ROH. They can have some older guys go to ROH too, and they could do something there.
Yeah. If we were saying earlier in the show about bringing a guy like Danielson or Cole or Punk down to put over these younger developmental talents, and once they're ready to go up and so on and so forth, it'll be an up and down. It won't be it
won't be static. The other. Yeah, it won't be static. You'll see it'll be more lateral than down.
Because I don't think, and this Tony... is if they want to take somebody off TV from AEW for a while, bring them down to ROH for a month or whatever, or maybe up until the next big ROH pay-per-view, have them lose there, go back up, and just do laterally, don't have to.
Yeah, because I think TK loves and respects ROH too much to make it feel like it's going to be like down, like a step down to go from AEW to ROH.
Yeah.
So I think he'll make it like they're on kind of equal footing, even though a bunch of young guys are going to be on ROH.
Yeah. And it's going to be like a separate brand too. It's not going to be like AEW's Ring of Honor.
Yeah. But yeah, AEW.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for both AEW and Impact, like immediate future. We didn't really talk about Impact's immediate future, but there's so much stuff they can go.
Oh, we forgot to mention during the Revolution review.
Oh yeah,
they had a segment, and Tony Schiavone came down on the ramp, had a microphone in his hand and a contract in his hand, and he said that someone is going to come out and sign a contract, and it was none
Swerve.
other. Yeah, Swerve himself. He does the whole whose house Swerve's house stuff, and he mentions MLW, that he was with Tony, and I thought that was really cool, and I'm happy to see Swerve. How about you?
Yeah, I like Swerve, so I'm happy to see him, and he's going to be really good in this AEW roster.
Yeah, for sure. Though Swerve is going to be one of these guys that is going to be in the TNT title hunt right away.
Yeah, I could see him and Sky. I could see him and Lee. Him and Ricky Starks would be in. I don't know what affiliation he is, but yeah, he could have matches with everybody, and he could be really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that about covers like this week. I mean, we have the Madison Square beatdown, but that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much our show.
Thanks for watching. If you like,
don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. I'm Sam. You can follow me at SamDuffWrestle on Twitter. Dan, tell them where they can find me.
I'm Daniel. You can find me at DJ Wrestling Fan. And as always, if you have something you want to talk about, I pretty much watch everything.
Leave it in the comments.
Yes, I pretty much watch everything. So I can probably discuss anything in wrestling. Mike Cardona finally won the NWA title, the worst kept secret in all of wrestling. It finally aired today, so now I guess we can all talk about it freely.
Yeah, and he might bring it to the next Impact taping.
Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, for now, that's our show. Thanks everyone for watching.
See you guys.